It's really early today, huh? Wait until somebody comes in. So today I'm going to tell you about how I met my best friend. So when I was a kid, I would say somewhere in middle school, I started karate just to get some more energy in and see what can happen. And uh, so I started doing that, and then I met this guy, same age as me, and his name was AJ. And funny enough, the reason we became really good friends is because his birthday is the day after mine, which is really funny. So we pretty much became friends really quick, and we would were basically staying at each other's house every weekend. Like we would have a class on Friday, and we would switch between whose house we're going to, which is really funny. So, and when we were there, we would make movies. Like we would make parodies of Happy Gilmore, uh, The Water Boy, and we would make our own movies. Like we would make a movie called Apple 2044, where it was like really funny, and it was about a woman trying to take over Apple. And so and it was really funny, like we made it look like this all high-tech stuff where there were screens all over the place, screens on the bathroom mirror, and it was just somehow just something we came up with on our own. And we had so much fun making the script together. We would good morning to you as well, Dax. And so we would make our own movies, and we made a movie called Apple 2044. There's actually, I think, two or three. There's only one other one. And so we would make it look all high tech, like you would put these sunglasses on, and there would be screens across on each side, so you're still looking forward, but there's stuff on each side talking about the news, the weather, all different kinds of stuff. And so the whole gist of it was this company is trying to steal our Apple, basically. And so we had to steal it back. Not so much steal it back, but protect it. And what do you call it? And come to find out that it was a robot who was trying to steal it. I played the robot. And I ended up getting killed at the end. And then we made Apple 2045, which was all about that the owner, the creator of the robot who was trying to steal it, was the one is behind everything. And funny enough, my my self character had I played the woman, and I had to go on a date like it was a dating app that we used, and his wall was we made it look like his wall was showing all of who's available, and so I would pick me, me dressed as the woman, and so I would go on the date, and I had my wig on. I thought it was hilarious, and so it ended up being that she only had the date with me, so I would give up the information that I had, and she ended up getting shot at the end. And so that was really funny. We wanted to make Apple 2046, but unfortunately he moved to be with his very nice wife. And we always wanted to make Apple 2046, like we even had we had the whole script written, but he ended up becoming a dad. So that kind of really took challenge of everything. And she is the cutest girl ever. So, hold on. My legs are really easy. And so it was so much fun. We would make like a Happy Gilmore. Like I would play Happy Gilmore. I had my own golf clubs and all. We would do it in his backyard. It's so funny. And we did a Waterboy one where he played the Waterboy, and it was so funny. I played the annoying quarterback who always would piss me off. It was just so much fun, like going to his house on the weekend and just not so much just hanging out, but like making our own stuff, like make it our way. And now that he has 2 daughters, they are the most adorable girls ever. And we're actually, think like in a week and a half, we're gonna go and see them. And so going all the way back, like I said, I did karate growing up, and it was good because I was getting somewhat of exercise. And then unfortunately one day they wanted to, it was like midsummer, and the heat was just crazy. And unfortunately, the sensei made the room even hotter, so we would sweat even more. And I ended up having a seizure during the middle of class. It wasn't a crazy one, like it wasn't what they call a grand mal seizure. It was more of just that I am having one, and uh, and so that was to put. Okay. I forgot my water. It's supposed to be right here, but I forgot. Uh, so I walked in here. I'm like, wait, I'm forgetting something. I'm checking. Do I have my phone? Do I got my wallet? Do I got my keys? And then I look in my hands. I'm like, oh, I don't have my water bottle. I'm like, good job. It's too early, right? Too early to remember everything. I'm lucky I remember who I am. And during high school, I had a very good friend, and I come to find out we would always joke around in school, and come to find out that he lived like a block and a half away from me, which was really good. And it was actually funny that like I would drive by his house every day, and then all of a sudden he's my best friend. Um, we would do, he was more of the sports best friend. Like we would watch Yankee games over at his house, or he'll come over, watch a game. And only 12 minutes, I'm already getting out of breath. Too early, and it's really hot in here. Whew. So, excuse me. And so, talking about best friends, when I first moved to where I am, we, I moved with my mom for medical reasons, and we were trying to find a grocery store, and my mom asked this girl who, like, she asked her if she can help her find certain stuff or whatnot, and she was like, oh, you're so cute, you would be perfect for my son, he's so nice, he's just like you, blah blah blah. And so my mom comes home and tells me all about this, and I'm like, Mom, no, I can't, because I was dating somebody at the time, and I didn't want to be that guy. So unfortunately, she ended up cheating on me. So I'm like, all right, I'm done. I'm done with that. But it took me a little while to get back into the dating stuff and whatnot. And so I'm like, just to get my mom to stop nagging me about it, I'm like, all right, Mom, I'll meet her. And so it took us like 2 weeks because we kept going back, but not at the time she's working. So it was just so funny. And we finally got there at a time where she was working, and like the second I saw her, it was like what Disney whatever, and to like stare at each other for it. And oh, okay. Like it would be like in the Disney movies where stuff would, like the birds and the hearts flying out of the over the head. And unfortunately, I met her. You know, you've seen her, Mrs. OK Bowler, and uh, so unfortunately, it was during COVID, so we had to not so much hide me from her family. It was more of just didn't want to get too far into it. If we can't barely see each other. And so her birthday comes around, and I still, her parents don't know anything about me. And so I send her, on her birthday, I send her 24 different colored roses. And unfortunately, they were supposed to show up when she was off work, and it got there early. She was still working. And all of a sudden, her parents and sister brought the roses in, and Mrs. OK Bowler, she gets a call, and they're like, "Who's Honey Bear?" And she was like, "Oh no, yes, Honey Bear was my nickname from her." And so that's pretty much how it went. It was really funny, and just kind of like we always say, it's like a movie. And so her she wanted a FaceTime for me to say happy birthday and everything. And her mom was like, "Come on down, come hang out." And my mom's like, "No, no, you have to wear, if you do, you got to wear a mask." And so she finally gave in. And I go over, and it was really funny. Like, I'll go over, and everybody's asking me questions and stuff. And so a year later, I proposed. And I actually proposed at her job in the same spot that I met her the first time. It was in front of checkout number 7. And luckily she said yes. And it was so funny. She was like, "Oh, do I have to go back to work now?" All of her bosses were in on it. They knew it. So she was like, "Do I have to go back to my shift now?" And they're like, "No." And so we all went out to dinner. My family was there. Some were on FaceTime. Her family was there. And it was just so much fun. I was so nervous to propose. Like, my heart was absolutely racing. And I even forgot my script. I wrote out this whole thing, and I forgot it at the house, of course. And then I just talked, I don't know. Already 20 minutes. Not bad. Too early. And so I can remember, I actually, the, the video's funny, I had blonde hair. This was 4 years ago I proposed. And so let's see if I can remember. So I was like, 2 years ago, you met my mom, and then 1 year later, I met you, and I looked in those adorable green eyes, and I knew you were the one for me. And then I got down on my knee, and I asked if she would marry me. And luckily, she said yes. And so it was something I'll never forget, and it was just so much fun. A lot of, and now we're just dealing with life together and just going through life. And hopefully things go further into life, and just wanting to see where it goes. And now that I'm losing weight, I am starting to have more energy for us to do more stuff. And you got help. Already tired, or been tired. What's going on? Oh, just a bunch of people. And so I can't wait to go and see my to fly and see my best friend and his daughters. I have a nickname called Unky. So I'm Unky, and I FaceTime them basically every day, and they are so adorable. They get all shy when I call or answer. It's just really funny. Whew. It's way too hot in here. So last week I told you a little bit about my high school bowling team. So I want to tell a more story about that. So I was always bowling leagues and going, like I said last time, Sunday mornings you were able to, from 9 to noon, it was $2 a game. And so I was basically bowling all morning. I was bowling like 10 games for just simple $20. And so I found out that my high school had a bowling team. I thought, hey, that's really cool. And so I knew a guy from a class who was on the team, and I was like, hey, do we really have a team? He goes, yeah, I'm on it. And I found out that I believe it was my sophomore year, I tried out for the team, and it was this big tryout, like you were bowling like 5 or 6 games. And so I luckily got on the team, and it was really cool. Like, I've never really been on a team before. Like, I was wanting to try out for the football team because I was big, so I would be a good lineman. But because of my seizures, my neurologist was like, that's a very bad idea. And so I was like, all right, that makes a lot of sense. So I started on the team. It was a lot of fun. It wasn't like a big, you have to have a 200 average the whole time, but you were able to just be you and bowl the way of you. And I wish I didn't forget my water. And so and it was funny because I am actually part, when I was a senior, they were all coming around taking pictures and whatnot, and they asked me to take a picture, to be in the picture. And so in my book, you see me and a couple others, and there's always a quote at the end. Like, there's 3 pictures and then a quote, and they actually took my quote. It was I was like, and I'm not even the good one on the team. I was on the And unfortunately, my senior year, I didn't even make the team. Somebody beat me out. But the coach said that he never cuts seniors. But so unfortunately, I was on the practice team the whole year, except senior day. Then I bowled on varsity. I'm like, you're really gonna put me on varsity, not JV? I'm like, okay. It was really sad to end it. Like graduating, I know I won't be on that team anymore, and of course I miss it. But then when I started doing leagues again, I felt that in me of being on a team and like having people to bowl with. And I always did, what do you call it? I can't think of the word. Handicap leagues, because I never wanted to do any of the leagues that you have to have like a 200 plus average. I'm like, no, that's not me. I want to have fun and just spend time for a couple hours. And if you want to see that, all the whole season is on this page. You just gotta go to the live playlist. They're all in there. And luckily, this one league I was on, Mrs. OK Bowler didn't want to. This was the first time the league came up after we started dating. And she's like, no, I don't think I'll be really good. I really don't want to do it. I don't want to embarrass myself. So I'm like, all right, that's acceptable. So then I bought her own bowling ball and shoes. And we would go a lot to practice. We would go right when they open. That way there's no screaming, running kids around. And so I started teaching her. And then I got her, then after the first year, when the second season came around, she was like, all right, I'll join. And so we started doing that together. And so we started doing that together, and it was so much fun. Like, I know, like, we would start laughing at each other or make jokes because I was just okay. And I threw it in the gutter a lot, so I would making jokes about that, and we would be laughing about this. And then I bought her own bowling ball of like a reactive one where it'll actually hook. And so when I first took her to practice and she threw it, she got like nervous that it hooked. And she looks at me and she's like, is that supposed to happen? I'm like, yeah, that is. That's what it does. And so she was like old, giggling and whatnot because she knows that I bowl like that, but she thought I was just gonna get her a ball like the previous one the first one I got her, and she like gasped. She was like, when the ball started to react and hook, and she was all giggly. And so we started bringing that to league, and she started getting a lot better. We would practice more and practice more, and it was just so much fun. It was something we always wanted to find out to what each other loves and like want to, like, we want to try to do it. What was that? That was very loud. And so it was a lot of fun. Fortunately, we're not doing the summer season because I'm working now, and so we didn't know the time of if they'll mix together or anything. So we are going to do the fall season, and I'm going to live stream that too. I mean, what's a bowling channel, a Bowling King channel, without live streaming me bowling. So for now, for the summer, you get workout live streams and just hearing stories about my life and who knows what else. 35 minutes. All right. I am going a little shorter today because I don't want to overdo myself because I work tomorrow early in the morning. So, whew. Yeah, I work at the local country club and I work in the rental booth. So what I do is, like they would come up and be like, hey, I want to rent out a pickleball set. And we have like these bags that hold two pickleball rackets and a ball in the bag. And I would write down their name and what they call a site number, which is their house on the land of the country club, and then the time that they like what they rented out, and then the time that they rented it, and hopefully they bring it back, which most of the time they do. What was I doing come here so early? Well, I had to add it in real quick because my brother and his family are coming up for his daughter's birthday. So I had to get something real quick in, and I couldn't leave all of you guys and girls wondering when I'm going live again. But I do want to get my regular podcast going. I know I'm doing this right now, but I kind of want to also have like I really want to do a Q&A, and I'm gonna hopefully I would like all of my friends and subscribers to come up with questions that they want to know more about. I know I yap on about stuff that would answer your questions, but I want to answer what you guys want. I want to hear from all of you. Like, what else do you want to know? Like, what do like it, or even if some way that you can be like, hey, this something I do is the same way that this does for you, or some random stuff like that. And so hopefully, let's go a little faster here. For the last 11 minutes, let's go a little faster. There we go. It has been such a really nice day lately. Oh, we saw the Superman movie last night. Me and Mrs. OK Bowler went to saw the Superman movie last night. It was so good. Like, it's everything I wanted in a Superman movie, because the Henry Cavill ones were horrible. Like, they made him all it was literally like if Superman was an emo. It was just like he was all about all about himself, and him as Clark Kent, he was way too like it was literally like Superman just putting glasses on. I mean, I know it's Superman putting glasses on, but like he was acting, he had the attitude and stature of Superman, but with the glasses on. And I thought that was horrible. And so it really felt like it was a me type situation. And it was just, I didn't enjoy it. Like it was just, ugh. So we saw the new one. I think the very best Superman ever will obviously be Christopher Reeve. And when we saw the one last night, it really, he really showed what Superman is supposed to be. To show that he fights for you and that he wants you to have hope that he can help you. And I've always loved Superman. He was always my favorite superhero. I would have all of his comics. Back when I lived on Long Island, there would be this grocery store, Stop and Shop, and they would have a little rack of comic books, and they were like $2. So every time we went there, my dad let me get one, and they always had a Superman comic. So I'm like, oh, I'm getting this one. And it was, and as a kid, like reading that, you can picture it in your mind, like how it's working, and how it, like you can picture it in your head. Like you can see, you can picture it in your mind what's happening. And it was just, all right, just a couple more minutes. But the movie last night was so much fun. And to have my special girl with me, it really made everything perfect. We always try to do somewhat of a date night. And it was just a lot of fun. And on that note, I think we're ending for today. And, okay. I hope you guys and girls had fun, and like, subscribe, and share. Tell your friends. Make them grab their phone and hit the subscribe button. I'll see you soon. Where's the button? There we go.